Ice ages in the last 750 years, and by ice age we don't just mean a spot of chilly weather. The next one could come any time. Surprisingly, some say it could even be triggered by global warming. The Arctic ice packs are currently melting, making the North Atlantic less salty. This may have dramatic consequences on the flow of the world's great ocean currents.
The oceans absorb heat in the tropics, and the ocean currents transport that heat away from the tropics northwards and southwards up to the high latitudes, and the ocean loses the heat there to the atmosphere, and so keeps the atmosphere at the high latitudes warmer.
If the North Atlantic becomes less salty, it will shut down the so-called Great Ocean Conveyor, or Gulf Stream, that is driven by the circulation of dense salty water falling to the bottom.
There is a possibility, because we know it's happened in the past, that the circulation might actually switch off completely over quite a short period, maybe 10 or 20 years.
This apparently would cause a sudden and dramatic climate change with terrible consequences.
If you imagine the world would be adapting to an expected global warming, and then suddenly the climate change goes in the opposite direction, the impacts of this kind of change would be really substantial.
Really substantial indeed, causing as it might a large proportion of the northern hemisphere to ice over and remain that way for 70 to 100,000 years. First, crops will fail. Next, all megafauna will die. Humans will inevitably be frozen to extinction.
I wouldn't say dying is great in any situation, but certainly hypothermia probably isn't quite as bad as you think it's going to be. The first symptom is really irrational behaviour. It's when you're doing things for no apparent reason whatsoever. After that, we're looking at people who are just not responding. They'll start to have uncontrollable fits of shivering. They'll start to lose all their coordination. They'll start to fall over, complaining of headaches, blurred vision. People start to go into a stupor. They collapse, they go into unconsciousness and a hypothermic coma.